Hello everyone, welcome back to Mayor Jordan and back to Birdsong Bay. I hope you're doing well today. I'm doing pretty good. I am tired and for some reason my glasses feel all funny, like they're not fitting on my head correctly, but beyond that, everything's great. Did we just win a game of some description? Yes, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say yes. So many people are still taking the buses. I'm amazed how many are choosing to take the bus over actually anything else. It seems weird to me. And also weird how they go into the left lane there from there. Is this technically a 1 lane maybe? Not a 2? I wonder if that is the case. Wouldn't know how to fix that, but it seems to be running okay, so I'm not going to complain. But so many people are actually using the bus stops, more than I would anticipate. But sure, I mean, look at this backup now. Oh my gosh. I wonder if this just let out as well. It may have done. I guess, again, I mean, it's game traffic, so it is realistic, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'll just leave it be and, you know, let it sort itself out as the time comes. It's kind of, again, having to happen here. It's sort of just par for the course, and I kind of love that. So one thing I may do, actually, is under the buses, let's see, we have this yellow one, which is very long. Maybe we'll make a new one here. So let's have one that serves this area. And, you know, we can sort of work the outside regions of here, go through here. We'll come back before this intersection. We'll have one that goes before this park, and then, yeah, sure, why not connect to there? I think that'll be fine. I'm not too worried about how like their exact layout is, as long as it is functioning and not causing massive traffic issues. Really, as long as I'm avoiding the traffic issues, I'm feeling pretty good about things. Oh yeah, I should mention, of course, I had to end the last episodes really suddenly. We were having a pretty decent storm on the way through, and there was possible tornadic activity. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna record during that. I think it was a good choice, and I was just like, okay, let's go, let's go chill in the living room and be prepped to go, you know, to our safe spot if need be. And I think it worked out a little bit better. So just playing it safe. So that was what I was doing then. If you were curious in any way, shape, or form, even though I'm pretty sure I said about it, but I can't remember at this point. But yeah, everything was good, so that's the main thing. So yeah, I've got more of this area to work into. I've got this whole area to build into, which is great as well. Let's go ahead and, I guess, start a little bit here. So I want to come along here. There we go. Just wanted to build along that bit specifically. And then we're going to, we'll use that, build as close as we can to there without affecting it. And then I'm gonna do this, come along here, and to there, and maybe I'll even go ahead and just make a connection there. You know what, maybe we could do something like this. So let's see, have another connection to go to there. It's not like too slanted or too weird, so I can deal with that. I'll tell you kind of what I mean, or what I'm doing with that in a second. I'll see if it's working out as well. Do I want to connect this? Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll keep that separate for now, just to keep the traffic more on this area of road. Do I want to do that as well? I don't think I do. I think I just want to leave that bit open. So the reason I'm doing this is I kind of see this as sometimes they're called service roads. So there's the main bit of road, and then you would have, you know, this would be the road where you get off and you can park instead of having to park on the main bit. And, you know, there's other buildings, but I'm using it as a buffer to have the actual shops there, and then to be able to put other things in the rear, but also still have parking and that accessibility. So back here we can then have the housing with it being a little bit more separated, and I think that'll work pretty well. least that's the hope. So we'll have that, see how that goes. We'll even go ahead and turn this all into residential as well. You know, nice and everything with that. And then I wonder if I could squeeze in here. Yep, and there we go. Nice little cut through. Just the way I like it. So that's perfect. And yeah, we're going to, of course, need to pop under here. And we'll connect that. Beautiful. But yeah, so it kind of works out with that. And the thing is, a lot of these buildings, the commercial ones, do love to have the parking around the rear. So instead of, you know, squeezing through this little alley, you actually just park in the rear. And it's kind of nice. Although I think maybe this is the front, actually. This might actually be counting as the front instead of this area. So that's even weirder because it doesn't often do that. But it must have flipped sides there. But I'm actually okay with that, to be honest. So that also works with me. So never mind. I was wrong, but it also works to what I wanted. So it's fine by me. I think we'll go ahead and make this area to that crosswalk into some commercial for the time being, just to fulfill a need. Maybe even the same, start dotting in just a little bit more in the way of offices around here, because there's people that live around here, so I mean, it's just easy done. Don't know why it was even like that, but sure. Must have like painted over it kind of awkwardly. But we'll do this, we'll even just kind of add this to here. Then that fulfills a little bit more of a necessity, and should hopefully help us a little bit there. This is a little bit busy, but again, bound to happen. I don't know if I actually have the junction set up here. I do, so that's fine. And that one's going as well. So yeah, it's a little bit more crazy than I would maybe like. Maybe it wouldn't hurt to have some lots here. But at the same time, I'm sort of just like, you know, hoping that it'll sort itself out. Maybe it's not realistic, but it seems to be flowing fairly well. I don't actually know what our traffic is like right now. So we're actually 90%. I consider 90% pretty great. The biggest holdup is here, and that's just because I do have lots turned on in this intersection. You know, I don't... Maybe we would be fine without. You know, maybe that would actually work okay. We could try. We can see what would happen. I don't know if it's necessarily realistic. And I know that, you know, in normal situations that probably wouldn't be done. It probably would be a typical junction or roundabout or something that would be a little bit more useful. I'm curious to see how that functions. This one's probably the more hilarious one, actually not having anything. I feel like this is starting to look a little bit crazy. So I wonder if I was to actually go ahead and turn that into one. Maybe that would work a little better. I may go ahead and actually, just because I don't really want cars parking on this bit. Maybe I'll increase that. There's a lot up there as well. But maybe I'll increase that as such and allow that to function that way. And that may actually work a little bit more in their favor. So there's a dedicated lane still going straight. I actually wish it was a little better, but it seems to be working. It's because everyone wants to go left up here. So I may do this as well. So it may make people not choose just one. And then, yeah, there's a double left lane. That might help the traffic not back up so much into the junction. Or at least that's the hope here. Yeah, now they're starting to use the right lane, not just the left. And I think that's already going to be a little bit better. All right, so got a little bit of a backup there, but again, it's fine. As long as I'm not seeing like something backing out into the highways, I feel like we're, you know, doing pretty decent, and I will take it. So let's go ahead and I don't know if I want to start building a new little area, or if I want to make sure. Do I want to make sure that we have traffic sorted out in most places? I guess that's a good thing to do, just to, you know, keep on top of it. Yeah, I mean, we have traffic here, which makes sense, I mean, for the people coming in and out. But I don't think it's a worry. Right here's quite a, Well, I mean, it says it's bad, which, yeah, it's definitely not great. I may consider actually turning on some of these lights and just seeing how they function with them on. If they happen to function maybe that little bit better. There's so many pedestrians that I feel like that could be doing something to it as well. So we'll see about that. But let me do that one. Because we can always adjust this as well if it comes down to it, you know, have more dedicated lanes, so on and so forth. I wish I could tell them that they could turn on red. That's always a thing that I think would be very nice in this. I will upgrade this road, just so there's a double right lane. And then I think I may... Do I want 2 left lanes as well? This one's not really backing up. It's more coming from this way. So I think we're okay there. Yeah, we're getting a little bit of a slowdown from here. Again, just everyone wanting to turn right, basically. And where are they heading? They're heading, I think they're literally heading out of the city and or across to, yeah, they're heading out of the city mostly. That is fine. I think we can work with that and figure out how to solve that in time. But right now, it's actually not backing up to the point of where I'm worried because it's actually fixed itself ever so slightly there. This bit, yeah, a little bit more, more backed up. I think it's okay. I could... Oh, I didn't mean to do that much, but that's all right. I could do that, and bring it back ever so slightly, and then maybe even here. And then, I say a lot of people going through this park, which is nice. I may even bring it back to there, so it's like a nice crosswalk there, so less people are apt to just use this crosswalk. So they may use this one. It just gives a little bit more variety of where they can choose to move. And that may work out a little bit better in our favor. And having these extra lanes for this higher traffic, just for the turning lanes specifically, I think will work better. Not more lanes more better, but more lanes just for the turning areas. I think it's going to work a little bit better for us, especially in the time being. So we'll see what happens there. Another thing I want to do is I think I do want to go ahead and start working on that. The improvement of the metro. So I think we're going to do that. But with that, I think we're going to call some audibles here basically and start, you know, I think we want to make a better high density area and then work on some suburbs a little bit more. I mean, it depends if we're making we could do it realistically where, granted, it was a very racist thing in the 1950s to like 60s, 70s, where it was called white flight, where they moved out of the, like into the suburbs. Or we could have it be, you know, mixed developments, which is kind of what I'm going for, but I want to put more of these in there. So I think we're going to do the non-racist option because personally I think that's probably better. And have mix. So we're going to we obviously have these with the larger buildings, and I think we're going to just sort of come in here like this, and random little spots that we see availability, go ahead and turn this into some high density. And I think that's just going to work a lot better for us, getting better population, you know, the center of the population in a better way, and everything like that too. We're going to rebuild this fairly soon because I'm going to put a waste management facility or processing facility there, which is going to be a whole ordeal. Or I may, you know, this is either one of two things. This could be a great place to build a very exclusive, very, you know, upper class or wealthy, with, you know, maybe making it where it makes us more money, sort of suburb, and, you know, overlooking the rest of the city and the water treatment. But, you know, so there's that opportunity. But there's also the opportunity for maybe putting our waste management away from the rest of everything else. So there's also that as an opportunity. The waste management, it is a pretty detrimental thing if you're not wary of the size, so we'll get it very soon, but it probably would infect this entire area. So I might have to consider buying another square to be able to do that. Maybe that would be best for this area instead. To have it over here, or perhaps even, you know, maybe over here or something like that, kind of connected to the highway. I mean, there's all this area, of course, but I see this as kind of prime development area with how, you know, mostly level it is. So we'll sort of work on that as the time comes. We'll eventually turn this into something that works to go both ways. But for now, we're kind of focusing in on what we have. But there's obviously some garbage issues, which is very clear to see. But we'll get there when we get there on that. We're getting close to the 24,000. That's sort of part of it as well. I wanted to, you know, sort of move some of the, you know, more polluting things out of the way and put in some of these, you know, offices and maybe turn this to a little office complex. We still are going to need some industry, but we'll also work on getting some cargo stuff as well. Which reminds me, do we have any rail lines around us? I don't actually know. I think I can look at connections, can I not? This is going to take me a second to find, but we got traffic routes, escape routes. Is there not a way to see connections for trains? Maybe it's actually just straight up under that. I could be wrong though. Maybe I need to go to the actual train area and see this. I don't. Okay, so there's a train track over here. So I actually would be, as much as I was wanting to buy this side, I think I'd be better off buying over here to be able to get to those train tracks. Yeah, because those aren't ones. Because they're going to be very, very instrumental to our growth. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to go ahead, buy that, and yeah, so that's what we got. So we've got like an old abandoned train depot, I guess. And we may actually go ahead and yeah, so it's over here. Just thinking, because we're going to, you know, eventually want to expand. Maybe instead of rebuilding this here, we bring it over here and then kind of plot it in this area. Because we're in a relatively flat area, we can work with this like nice and easily. And then, you know, we have the building availability and of all this area, and then we have the track availability to go ahead and connect up and easily get onto the and access the highway as well. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, are these from a DLC or mass transit DLC? Okay. I was like, did I just download these and not notice? I forget about the 2-lane highways. That's something I need to utilize a little bit better as well. Because those are fun ones, actually. So, yeah, we're going to need a rather large junction that eventually will go up over to here. So I think what I'm going to do, just to get this sort of at the right level, turn this to the big brush. We're going to go full power. I'm going to take that height, and that is in theory, okay, so that's at the height that it is over there. So this just will make it easier to get this done when the time comes. So let's do that for now. And then, is this the slope terrain? Yeah. Oh, Lord. Didn't want to do that much. Well. Oh, the softened terrain, yeah, is the better one, isn't it? Okay. And is that the one that pulls or pushes? I can't remember. It's hard to remember what's what sometimes. But we'll sort of just start bringing the highway over here and see what we can do with making everything just that hopefully a little bit better. and start getting some of these connections done to where we'll hopefully have an easy time. So we're going to have to rebuild this. So we're going to repause, or we'll go ahead and pause. And we're going to go ahead and just kind of, we'll bring it back to here and sort of start from scratch. And go from there. Alright, and then underground, take that out. And I didn't mean to delete this bit of road, so we'll go ahead and put that back together. There we go. Now, I gotta figure out how I want to do this. So let me first off make 2 connections here, I think. Let's go just there and then there. So we've got where we want to connect to. So that's going to make it instantly easier. And we're going to do, I think, a 2-lane here. And we'll start at about an angle as such. And we'll go with that. I don't actually want to use the sound barriers because I think they're bad for the visibility. At least for this kind of thing. And then let's do that for now. We're going to have... I wish that would work a little better. We'll take that out for the time being. So we're going to go up 1 here. Let me just use the straight piece, it makes this easier. Then we'll go about half of that. So I'm gonna try to, reasonably make our way over here. So this turns into basically like just a little bridge. And maybe instead of there, just to keep this like more straight, we'll make our way over to here, but we'll see. So that's a little bit funky, but I don't know if that's necessarily terrible. That's weird. Almost if I build it backwards. So kind of the same. So I think it's just what we're going to have to deal with. That's okay. And honestly, the only reason I did it here is just because it was going to be a better line. So this will now be where this is. And then we'll figure out where the other one goes when I guess, get to that point. Or maybe I can build back from here. So we could do one that sort of follows it. Okay. I'm not trying to make it like perfect, but I'm sort of just trying to get, we'll say, the idea of what the other one is like. Then on down to there. Then we can go ahead and have our one that I think instead we'll start from here. Then turn that into that. There we go. Okay, so we've got a way to enter there. We've got a way to enter over there. We've got one to exit that way. We will need one that... I wish it could do this better. Like that exact movement, but it's really not feeling it, that's for sure. Okay. And then... wonder if I could... That's very steep. Let me turn this off. I think it's just going to make my life easier. Kind of putting this in. I'll try to Make it look mostly normal. And then like so, we'll do a step down and then turn this back on to have a good connection to there. Okay, so we've got that one. We're gonna need one that probably starts from about here. And we'll do that as a 2-lane for now. There we go. And then we can have this that goes from here and maybe connects up to, well, actually, let's not do it on a corner because that's just going to be a little bit ridiculous. So let's do it like that. Then this turns into a 2-lane into there. And this should actually be from a 3 into a 2. Then there's a dedicated lane each side, which works well for us. Okay. Just sort of, well, it would be, oh, it would have been wise to have one that goes across. I didn't think about that. You know what? I think I could actually build this a lot more simply. I think I could. I think I could just build another one that goes across above here and then connect to it instead of doing all this convoluted, like, sort of on and off ramp stuff. As nice as I actually do like doing this kind of thing, but it could be a lot more simple. And then, you know, there's, because otherwise if I was doing away across, I just realized it was going to be a whole another thing. So let me, I won't necessarily edit it out, but maybe I'll speed it up if I can remember, because that would be great. So let's just undo all our progress, and then I will be back in a moment, but you'll, I guess, see a sped up version of this, if I remember. Hopefully I'm not just quiet. Okay, so it is by no means beautiful, and took me way too long, way too many iterations. I don't even know if I want to show any of the ones, because it actually took so long that I think the time lapse would be too much. I wanted to do something different, and I really wanted to utilize these highways in some way. And I know this is way too steep right before here, so I'm going to see if I can figure out maybe extending it down here a little farther. But basically, instead of doing highways across, I decided to do a 6-lane that I could then, you know, convert to, you know, just being like a transporter road in itself, and I thought that would be a little bit better. So yeah, that's what we've done, and I think it looks better for it, actually. So yeah, it seems to be running pretty good, which is nice to see. Of course, I probably could have done it a little bit better where, you know, they don't have to come in, wait, and go across traffic, but you know, it's working, and I'm kind of okay with that. Like, I could probably make, yeah, I could make probably a little slip lane, actually, to make this a lot easier, which I may do, but, you know, I just wanted to do this. I think I'm going to do something very similar to this, but a good few of them that cross over to here, sort of, you know, London Bridge style, or not London Bridge itself, but London Bridges, where there's like literally 50,000 of them, it feels like. But something similar to that, maybe. And then I end up just converting this. It originally went through here, and just curving it, because I was going to do something very different here at one point, and that just changed and went out the window. But, you know, it seems to be running pretty well, considering how much traffic's there. I know it's going to change once I put stuff up here. But I'm kind of okay with that. I'm kind of happy to try something a little bit new. I just didn't want to do, like, the same old, like, you know, here's a clover, and yay. Even though I know they're tried, true, tested, and work, but I like playing around with it a little bit more. Oh man, that took so long. I was paused the entire time, so I didn't really even gain anything for it, which is the funniest bit. But let's go ahead, and while we're here, we'll make a few little changes. Just going to change out some of these areas that are a little more busy, and I feel like could use maybe to be high density instead of, you know, the current normal residency, or low density, I guess it would be called. It would be cool if there was a medium density, you know, stuff that was just kind of maybe, you know, maybe stayed this size instead of turning into, you know, the taller buildings. That would be pretty fun. Like, maybe instead of turning into like this big building, which I know that's like a special building, but still, you know, like maybe instead of even turning into this, it would just stay maybe more, you know, kind of a smaller apartment size. You know, I would even almost say this is like medium density, but that has one household, which is amazing considering how some of the others have like 5 in a tiny home. Like this one's probably, yeah, it's got 3. This small one, okay, just 1. Okay, just 1. Okay, I was expecting more, I'll be brutally honest, but still, that one had 4, which is even more amazing. This one has 5, which, yeah, I could see that. That makes sense, but, oh my god, the industry's gotten a little busy. I didn't quite realize, but it makes, again, probably makes sense. All the stuff like delivering to all these new areas and all the new things we put down, but that's okay. And, oh, there we go. We are Grand City. We have a baseball park. We have the waste transfer facilities and processing complex. We got solar power, which we already kind of have. And, unlock some other unique buildings, which is fun too, I think. Unless I already had those, I'm not sure. But anyways, yeah, I'm happy with where we're at for today. I kind of fixed the one, or did the one thing that I was like wanting to do before I ended, and just sort of, I really wanted to utilize the highway as like this little split system. It may work if it ever backs up, so be it. We'll, you know, we'll play around with it and it'll be fine. I just like how simple and like kind of compact it is for what it is. Although, yeah, I could already see, you know, probably some issues arising, but it's fine. I'm not worried about it. I could even, honestly, make a better version of kind of something that I'm thinking up now, but we'll do that later. I think when I'm gonna have multiple crossings, because I'm gonna connect one maybe up over here in some way, shape, or form. That thing can go over here and go to the outside and connect here. I think that'll help even more. So we'll see how that goes. But that'll be it for now. Thank you so very much for watching. I will talk to you all in the next video, and goodbye.